Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we are currently about to fight a native uprising here, and that's going to go absolutely fine for us, no problems whatsoever. That's going to break out here in just a moment. We are running a large deficit right now, and that's of course because we just went to steel frame buildings, and we've got some work to do on that front. As you can see here, we're building a lot of glass works, and that is going to continue to be something that we're probably going to need to do, or maybe steel mills. We'll see. So we're currently, in theory, fighting this. Are we going to go? Maybe. Our organization is only at 50%, but I think a big part of that is we have no commanders here. That would help. Let's get somebody from the industrialists in here. And that'll boost up our organization. I didn't realize we had no commander. So that was definitely a problem. Okay, let's get our organization up and let's crush them. Okay, so we see a battle occurring here. And there we go. Now we're going to actually end this war. Excellent. So that's, of course, not an issue in the slightest. It's absolutely fine. We're down to 14 transportation shortages. That's definitely progress. And glass is still expensive. We're not surprised about this. So we're continuing to colonize down over this direction. And our glass works are going to finish up here in just a moment here. So that looks great. I'm going to move this railway up because it has no malice whatsoever to its construction efficiency. That seems good. And do we have any others that are in that category? Yes, this university in Umbria. I'll put that up at the top of the queue, and that's absolutely fine. So we'll continue to hammer through these constructions, and we'll see what our situation looks like after these glassworks start to come online. This will definitely affect the price of glass. There's no doubt about that, but the question is by how much. So we will see. Okay, one more week until this last glasswork is done. And that looks magnificent. I don't care about this Bulgarian positivist revolt. But that does seem like that's becoming quite a war. It doesn't matter to us, though. So that's absolutely okay. I do see a steel mill going in with private construction. That's a good sign. And let's see how our glass mills are doing at this point. We have all of these glass works here. Okay. So we can see that the price of glass is at 32%. Dye is a big part of this. Okay. What can we do about our dye situation? Well, we can go in and theoretically we could build dye plantations. We could build one in Iran. That is our vassal. And Persian Kurdistan is, I believe, our vassal as well, right? Because these guys down over here are our subject. Basra's our neighbor. So, Arabistan in Khuzestan. Noted. If we can build there, that would be great. I'd love to boost the production of dye. So this would be in Persian Kurdistan. This is up here. We'd prefer to build this in Arabistan because it's directly adjacent to our territory. We can build up to 48 there. I'm not going to build 48. I'm going to build 4. Okay. I'm going to maybe not build this one in Iran, actually. Yeah, we'll just do this. We'll build 3. And we'll see how that does. Are they part of our market? Let's see. They are in... Yeah, they're in the Israeli market. Okay, so that sounds good. With them in our market, that will definitely help the price of dyes. So I want to check in now on how steel is doing. So let's take a quick look here. Okay, so we're not maxing out our steel production here in Syria. That is a good sign. The price of coal is quite high. So I would definitely like to do something about the price of coal. Lebanon is actually a really good spot to build this. Look at how those earnings are going up as we continue to build these. Okay, now we're finally starting to see some diminishing returns. This is insane. Okay. This is a lot. That is maximizing our coal in Lebanon. And we don't necessarily want to do this all at once. So I'm going to move up these dye plantations, these railways here that we've already made some progress on. And then we can hop over here and we can intersperse some coal mines in Lebanon. This is going to take a while to get all of this built, but I do eventually want to get all of this built. It's just not the highest priority in the world to get all of this built, right? So I'm going to move all of these down. And then we'll move this railway up and then this railway up. Something kind of like that for now. Okay. So that seems okay. We at least want to start addressing the price of coal. I suspect building that much is not going to be great, but we'll see. So that will definitely affect the supply chain for steel, which will drop the price of steel. But I want to check in. What are we spending our money on in our construction goods? 52.7K on steel, 43.3K on glass, 15.7K on tools, and 10.1K on explosives. That's about where I expected to be. Okay. I don't think anything's too awfully bad right now. The price of glass is still up there, though, 36% in the Israeli market, and we might want to consider continuing to increase our glass production. That said, our glass is running into a lead price issue. So we could consider building a couple of lead mines as well. I'm not going to build as many lead mines as we built coal mines, but Sinai is a good spot to do that, actually. So I'm going to build 4 lead mines in Sinai. And I'm going to move this guy up. I'm going to put the coal mine, like, here. Something kind of like this-ish. I do want a coal mine up here. So we'll do a coal mine kind of like that. And sure, we can do something akin to this. Kind of like that. Cool. So that seems fine. What's our current penalty in Israeli Sahara? Oh, 53.9. Whew. That's a lot. But I'll continue working on it. Down here, it's 24.2. That's not nearly so bad. I just want to power through this. Let's get it done. So that seems good. Let's get some coal mines. Let's get some lead mines. Let's get some base level resource production going here. That'll be absolutely wonderful. And our economy is really expanding. 21.2 million right now. We're up to number 8. And remember, our target right now is number 7. So that's absolutely wonderful. We're going to be done with a coal mine in Lebanon here in 2 weeks, and then 2 lead mines in Sinai in 6 weeks. That'll make significant boosts for us. I am seeing this price of groceries here, and I'm hoping the private construction will take care of it. We'll see. We can make a food industry if we need to, but I hope private construction handles that. Tooling workshop in Palestine, that's fine. But we did finish up that coal mine in Lebanon, so that is going to significantly help matters for us. The coal mine is, of course, here. Yeah, that just immediately maxed out its production, so that seems good. Precision tools. It's a prestige goods variant of tools. This is a new system, isn't it? I've not interacted with this before. Precision tools is not a huge price issue. So that's interesting. Are we producing precision tools from our tooling workshops? We are. Okay, cool. So that's good to know. Absolutely great. So we're going to be finishing up these constructions relatively soon. Now, our private constructions are absolutely not keeping up with our construction capacity, and that's understood. At a certain point, we're going to have to stop our construction and pay off our debt. That point is not now. We've got other things that we need to build at this moment, but we are going to have to do that at the current juncture. We can see we're paying 16.1K in interest, and we'd very much like to expand our economy before turning off our construction. We'll see how that goes. Ammunition shortage in the barracks over here? Noted. But I want to get some of these railways finished, and I want to get some of these base level productions completed as of right now. That's the overall goal. So we're making progress through this. That looks good. And this railway in Israeli Sahara, it's going to be slow. There's no way around it. We're just going to have to build some slow things at a certain point. And I would definitely like to work on that. So we're going to get this railway completed in just 14 weeks at this point, and the rest of these constructions are reasonably efficient. So that seems good. It's going to be tough to build in the Sahara no matter what, though. So that's fine. We have no shortages at this moment, but we can definitely produce more coal mines. That's going to be done in 2 weeks, so that looks good. And that is, of course, going to be addressing the price of glass. But I think our core issue at this point... Actually, no, coal does not address the price of glass. Lead does. We have lead mines being built, though, and that's fine for now. But more glassworks, I think, is clearly required. So let's go ahead and put in 4 additional glassworks in Palestine. Actually, 8. Cool. I like it. That looks good. Now, I don't want to build these all at once. We're going to intersperse. So I want to have things that we've already been working on be interspersed in here. But we do want to get these glassworks done pretty quickly. I'd like to get our subventions gone, ideally. So I'm just going to move these guys up. There we go. We'll place you about here. And then place you about here. Perfect. And then place you about here. And then we'll move up a coal mine. Sure. So something about like that. That'll get some more lead production going. And we'll get these glass mines. Glass mines? Yes, we are mining glass. That is absolutely accurate. Okay, what are we paying for our subventions right now? Nothing. We have no subventions? Is that accurate? That's accurate. That's good. Ultimately, that's a very, very good thing. Oh, look at this. We see a food industry being built. This is a foreign construction, I believe. Yes, the British are building a food industry, and the French are building a steel mill. I love it. That's great. We're absolutely delighted by that. We might nationalize it later, but for right now, we're delighted that they're investing in our country. So that looks good. We're going to finish up these glassworks soon enough, and that's going to dramatically impact the price of glass. So that's fantastic. Landowners are petitioning us to pass tenant farmers, and the compromise is censorship. We're on right of assembly right now. No, get out of here. What's our current legitimacy? It's low. Okay, that's noted. So a rabbinical council could take over the asylum administration. I don't want to pay the bureaucracy for that, and I think we'll just take the government expenses. Not that I'm happy about it, of course, but there we go. So 31.7K is the balance, so that's fine for now, but we're up to 23,000 in additional expenses that are avoidable at this point. So that's, of course, not ideal. A lighthouse of progress, huh? The intelligentsia can become more radical. There's not that many of them anyway. So how are we doing on our innovations? Innovation cap of 99.6. We're at 93.7. That's looking pretty good. We're getting pretty close on that. I wouldn't mind moving up some more of these universities, but there aren't any that have 0 malice on them. So for the moment, I'm not going to do that. I just want to continue hammering through these glassworks and dealing with the big problem that is our steel frame building construction. If we can get our glassworks to a reasonable state, which they're probably pretty close to now, then that's phenomenal. So I want to check over in our glassworks here, now that we've started finishing some of these up, right? And that's right up over here. We're just continuing to max out these constructions. We're just maxing this really, really hard. So that looks good. We do have 4 more glassworks on the way in. Actually, this says +6. There goes another, but it just immediately fills up. And yeah, that's all completely and totally expected at this point. We're producing 602 glass. So that's good. Our glass is no longer considered expensive. So let's take a look at our market and go to goods. I want to sort by balance here, like this. Okay. So we're working on the glass. But we've got a balance negative of tools. We've got a big negative balance of groceries, steel, and especially coal. That said, we've got a lot of coal mines in our queue. I'm going to start moving some of these up 4 at a time. So we're going to put the glassworks here, and here, and here, and here. And then we'll put another glassworks there like that, move up this railway, and sure, something like this will be fine. Okay, so we got to get more of that coal production going. That's very clear. Also, I strongly suspect that we would do well to get some food industries going. Let's start by earnings. Upper Egypt. We could build some in Palestine. Our number of workers in Campania is really, really attractive for construction. Our number of workers in Palestine is somewhat dwindling, but it's kind of been holding at around 100K. So that's noted. I'm going to build 2 levels in Palestine. I don't know where that other one went. Upper Egypt? Okay. I wanted that to be in Palestine. So let's build a... Where are we? Food industry in Palestine. There we go. 2 levels here. One of them is at the top of the queue. One's at the bottom. Let's move this up. So that'll go there. And then I want to move a coal mine up. And we'll just put that in between. Okay. So we'll do something like this. We'll get to those that are having progress in them already. That'll be quite soon. I just want to get a couple of food industries going here. That will be fine. We can see that our deficit is shrinking even as our interest goes up. So that's a very good sign. We do see a lead mine going in and a railway in Armenia. Okay. Whatever. I don't really care about that, I'll be honest. We do still have a bunch of transportation shortages, but we're working our way through this construction queue. Privatizing the railway in Armenia. Oh. I don't know if we built that or not. It's in Armenia, so I would expect that we didn't build this. So we probably wouldn't get that money. But I think we'd get some tax revenue from it, maybe. So that would be good. So we're about to get dynamite, 7 weeks left. That's going to be a big deal for our mines. Which might mean that we're overproducing in our coal mines. Maybe. We do need a lot of additional coal production. For now, I'm going to leave this be. But we're going to have that very soon, and that will definitely get us some base level explosives demand, which would be good. How are we doing in our explosives factory here? It's actually maxed. Okay. We could think about expanding this. I'm going to expand it by 1. Okay. Upper strata pops becoming more loyalist, or lower strata pops becoming more loyalist? Do we want to go communist is a question. Ukrainian socialist revolt. Oh, that's going to get crushed. No, we don't want to go with that. Lower strata pops become more loyalist. Thank you very much. Wow, that was a big jump, actually. I love it. That moved a bunch of people from being radical to being neutral, and some people moved into loyal. Now it's not showing on the graph, but it was showing a moment ago. I don't know why it's not showing now, but whatever. There's dynamite unlocked. That is a big deal. Now we can grab ourselves another technology, and I'm thinking the open hearth process for more steel production is a good thing to do. However, that's being exposed, so maybe we go for reinforced concrete to build even faster. Yeah, we could do that. That seems okay. So next, we need to go into our buildings here, go down to all of our mines. Oh, our explosives factory can go to vacuum evaporation, and we should do this. We should absolutely boost our explosive production. So munitions plants can also go to explosive shells, which we will do. And now, For all of these mines, we're skipping nitroglycerin and going straight to dynamite. That's going to be a big production boost for these, but it's also going to greatly shock our market for explosives. So that's understood. It'll take time for that to get changed. We'll see what that ends up shaking out as. As of right now, we're seeing a big input goods shortage for explosives. But we are going to be producing more explosives, and we're working on expanding our explosives factories. 540. Let's check in on our overall explosives. Okay, we do have an explosives factory in Syria. I'm going to build another one there. And each of these is producing how many? 110 per level. So that's going to be 220 as of right now. So that means that we need 5 in total. Something kind of like that. Economy of scale is a thing, but I'm concerned about peasant count. So for the time being, we'll do it like this. We'll continue to expand those as needed. Now, I don't want to build all of these at once. So we're going to move these food industries up, and the coal mines are going to go up, and this explosives factory, I'm going to put all the way up at the top. And then this glassworks would go here, and then this glassworks would go here like this. Okay, so explosives is absolutely a thing that we need to be working on. That's fine. We'll get that done. That will be a big deal. But we can easily expand our production to accommodate this. It'll just take time. I do see a train going into Armenia. That's irrelevant to us, in all honesty. So let's get these explosives factories done, and our GDP is shrinking a bit right now. This is, of course, because of our shortage. So I'm not too concerned about that right now. Explosives factory building throughput or mines throughput? Ooh. I want the mine throughput. I'm going to take the mine throughput. The explosives we're going to be fine on. We can always make more mines. And we can always make more explosives factories, too. But I want that mine throughput, especially while they're dealing with this shortage, because they're going to have a continual malice to their production, and we don't want to hit a death spiral, right? That would be bad. So let's get these explosives factories built. That'll be just a couple of weeks before those start to come online. So that'll be great. And I see a clothing manufactory. Okay, I don't really care about that. Whatever. If they think it's going to be profitable, I wish them luck. Maybe it will be. But this textile mill up here, yeah, I don't care. That's fine. We do desperately need to get this explosives on the market, though. So that's looking good. We're at minus 537, and I'd like to deal with some of our other goods that we're in malice on. But right now, explosives being a shortage is absolutely the priority. We're going to have one coming online in 3 weeks. That will definitely put a big dent in our deficit. But it won't stop it, necessarily. And then we've got a couple more coming online a couple weeks after that. So that all looks good. There we go. That explosives factory is now done. So that looks great. And we're immediately producing a lot of explosives out of that. They just hire in so fast when there's just this kind of demand. So that's excellent. 437. We're going to finish another glassworks here. There we go. And that glassworks is suffering a shortage of iron. Actually, this is the iron mine shortage. Yeah, that's expected. That's explosives. Okay, so we now are no longer classified as having a shortage on explosives. That's fantastic. But we still have a deficit on it. And we'll continue to get these done. So that all looks good for now. I want to check in on our trade good deficit at this point. So if we look at this, we can see our biggest deficit is in groceries. So that's a pretty big deal. Specifically, gourmet groceries. Yeah, I don't know. 2% of the rural folk becoming more loyalist. We don't want to go the communist direction, I don't think. I don't think that makes sense for this playthrough. So we're not going to do that, but we definitely do need to get ourselves some groceries going here. I saw that we were pretty positive in our coal production, right? Yeah, we're pretty positive in our coal production. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to cancel every coal mine that is in the queue here that has not been started. So that's quite a lot of them. And that's fine. I also think we just canceled a railway that I didn't intend to. I have no idea when, but we can find out. Lombardy. Okay, so that's back in there. No problem. Beautiful. Right on the bottom of the queue, exactly where it was before. So that looks fine, and explosives are going to be in a much better situation. We definitely need to get some grocery production going here. So these are producing 110 per level, and we know that our current grocery deficit is 411. But how much of this is gourmet groceries is my question. Okay, that's noted. But the food industries do produce gourmet groceries, right? Yes. That's just from the production method. I think. Maybe not, though. I'm not entirely sure. But as of right now, we need, like, at least 4 or 5 of these. And Tunisia is an interesting-ish spot to put it, but let's sort by earnings. Lebanon. That's an interesting spot to put it. No, don't do this. Okay, I want the food industries going into Lebanon. That's showing up as being negative at this point, and that's understood. I'm going to try 2. 3. 3 is the number that we want. Okay, so we've got 1 up there at the top right now, and I want to move these guys right on up. There we go. We'll put the explosives factory at the top. We'll put the glassworks right about here, and this coal mine like that. Okay, so there's a native uprising going against us again, but as before when there was a native uprising coming up against us, it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and how do we have 16 in this army now? Oh, we have a conscript battalion. Okay. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to put that native uprising down and continue to work on dealing with our economy. But look at that thing soar. Beautiful. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Rornaz, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.